There we go. Yeah, that gets some attention that way, right? Good afternoon, everyone. As the new chair of the Executive Nominations Committee, I want to thank you for your forthcoming partnership and ensuring that the governor's appointments reflect both the competence and diversity of our great state. Our role is to thoroughly vet nominees, uphold transparency, and confirm leaders who are prepared to serve Marylanders with integrity, experience, and commitment to equity. I look forward to working with each of you this session to move nominations forward efficiently and thoroughly so the boards, commissions, and agencies can function at their full strength for the people that we represent. So thank you. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Vice Chair.
Good evening to all of you. I just want to welcome our new chairman. He's always done a good job. He's a great man, and we all love him a lot. I have problems because his suits are better than mine, but I'm not gonna raise hell about that. I'm gonna welcome you, sir, and know you'll do a great job.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. We will now have Senator Reedy to introduce his nominee for Department of Veterans and Military Families.
The secretary, you should probably read their name for the next time.
I will. Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah,
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's an honor to be before this committee, leading off the session, first one of the session, and it really could not be, I think, a better choice to lead off the start of our executive nomination hearings than with the nominee I have with me today. Colonel Ed Rothstein, retired from the U.S. Army, is a man that several of you, I think, have gotten to know over the years, but just really an accomplished public servant and leader. I think he's a great choice to lead the department through this challenging period as we try to help our veterans and our families of military families as well. Colonel Rothstein served our country for over 30 years in the United States Army. He's always focused on giving back and serving both local government, state government, and our military and our communities. He was garrison commander of Fort Meade, and he was responsible for support services, security, and quality of life for over 227,000 personnel. He was deployed to Afghanistan from 2010 to 2011, so he served our country there. He had a stint as Anne Arundel County Economic Development under a previous county executive, and I know did a great job there. And so he has an understanding of sort of how the military and works within our economic development strategy. And then finally, he just recently finished a stint serving as a Carroll County commissioner in our local government. He lives in Sykesville in my district, and he's just been a wonderful member of our community, doing a lot with charity and with other causes. So I won't blather on any longer. I'm very strong endorsement for Colonel Rothstein, for Secretary nominee Rothstein, and ask you to give him your support. Go right ahead.
Thank you, sir. First and foremost, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to stand before you this evening. Senate President Ferguson, Senator Reedy, thank you so much for the kind words. Especially my DVMF family that supported me this afternoon. I really am so fortunate that they are here with me today. Chairman Brooks and Vice Chairman Muse, and all members of the committee who I believe I've met all. I'm deeply honored and humbled to stand before you as Governor Moore's nominee to serve as our Secretary of Department of Veterans and Military Families. I serve because I understand firsthand what service asks not only of those who wear the uniform, but of those families who stand beside them. Service shapes our values. It teaches responsibility and a commitment to something greater than ourselves. Those values guide me this evening. Maryland's veterans, service members, military families deserve a department that listens to their experiences, learns from their needs, and leads with purpose and compassion. That is the leadership philosophy that I bring to you in this role. Listen, learn, and lead. If confirmed, I am committed to building on the strong foundation and legacy of the DVMF and the secretaries who came before me. This department has made meaningful progress, and my focus will be on strengthening coordination, expanding access to services, and ensuring we meet people where they are across every county and community here in this great state. Governor Moore has been clear in his mission to leave no one behind. That mission aligns directly with DVMF's work. Whether it is a veteran transitioning to civilian life, a military spouse seeking employment, a caregiver in need of support, or a child navigating frequent moves, our responsibility is to ensure Maryland's system and are accessible, coordinated, and responsive to their needs. If confirmed, I will work closely with you and the entire legislature, our community partners, and our dedicated DVMF team to continue advancing solutions that are practical, responsive, and rooted in the lived experiences of the people we serve. Thank you again for this opportunity, and I look forward to serving alongside you. And as always, life is good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. And just on a personal note, I just want to thank you for your service to our country. You know, you made tremendous challenges for all of our freedoms, so we really appreciate that, sir.
Yes, sir, and welcome home.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the chair recognizes Senator Bidle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to congratulate you, Colonel, and it was a pleasure serving with you when you were our garrison commander. And we have a wonderful resiliency center at Fort Meade that's really your legacy at Fort Meade. So I look forward to working with you now as Secretary of Veterans and Family Affairs. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, do we have any other questions? If not, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we'll, oh, she is here. Okay. I think she said Senator Gallo.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Okay, next we'll have, okay, next we'll have former Senator Michael A. Jackson, and now our new state police, and he will be introduced by Senator Harris. Would you come up, sir?
Great evening to this great and fine committee. It's with great honor that I stand before you today to present to you a dear friend, a dear mentor, a person I believe is right for this particular job. One of the things as I was thinking about what I wanted to say, because I always want to keep it as short as possible, is that when I met former Senator Michael A. Jackson, it was back in 2017, and I was running to become the next county council member for District 9 in Prince George's County. Obviously, I didn't win that race, but he grabbed hold of me after that election. And one of the things he said to me was like, hey, you can still do more. And ever since then, we've been having conversations. every single week as he gets up super early in the morning and makes those calls at like 7 o'clock in the morning. But we be having those conversations every single week for the past 8 years. And reason why I share that to you is because in these roles, we need leaders. Not folks that you want to hold titles, but people that are actual leaders and lead not just by their words, but lead by example and actions. And that's what we have here in this nominee for this position is Michael A. Jackson. He's a leader. He's someone that we know for a fact that will lead in this position, that will have quality and great integrity, and someone that folks can look up to say, hey, this is where we should be, this is where we need to go, and that's how we need to model ourselves in the state of Maryland. So, like I said, I'm not gonna stay before you too long, but that's what I wanted to share about this great man that's gonna come before you today. Our former senator for District 27, the acting secretary / superintendent / colonel, Michael A. Jackson. So thank you so much to this committee. I appreciate you.
Good evening. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, Mr. President, members of the Executive Nominations Committee. It's great to stand before you in this capacity. I guess you never know where you may end up. Before I get started, I'd like to recognize a few people in the room, if I might, Mr. Chairman. My bride of 34 and a half years. My bride of 34 and a half years, Kim. So 2 of my 3 grandbabies, so if anybody knows me, they know about my grandbabies. Yeah, right. My oldest grandson, Aaron Jr. at McNamara High School. Aaron. I call him affectionately the king. And the prince, Aiden, my youngest grandson, who attends Grace Brethren. And my queen is second year at College Park. She had a late class, and so she can't make it. Otherwise, she would certainly be here. And I forgot about my son, who I oftentimes forget about because the grandbabies are here. He's on a business trip, so he's not with us tonight. So, look, thank you to the governor for the nomination, his dynamic team, who has helped to shepherd me to this point. I'm grateful for his consideration for me for this position. You know, I approach this responsibility with full humility and deep respect for the constitutional role that this body plays in ensuring that the people of Maryland are served by leaders who are accountable, transparent, and committed to the highest standards of public service. The Maryland State Police is an institution with a proud legacy, one built on professionalism, courage, and a steadfast commitment to protecting our public. If confirmed, my focus will be to strengthen that legacy by supporting our troops and professional staff, enhancing public trust, and ensuring that our agency continues to evolve to meet the complex challenges of public safety in our time. My priorities will include reinforcing our rigorous training, expanding recruitment to reflect the diversity of our state, investing in officer wellness, and strengthening partnerships with local, federal, and yes, state partners, which includes each and every one of you. I am so proud to stand before you tonight, and if confirmed, I look forward to a very robust constituent services and community engagement with each and every one of you and the rest of the members of the General Assembly. I'm grateful to my family, my mentors, colleagues who have supported my journey in public safety. Their guidance has shaped my commitment to service and my belief in the importance of ethical, accountable leadership. Members of the committee, thank you for your time, for the seriousness with which you approach this process. If confirmed, I pledge to uphold the highest standards of this office and to work tirelessly for the citizens of Maryland. I'll stand for questions. Thank you.
Okay,
we go.
Senator King.
Here we go.
Just actually a question. I just have to say that the loss to Budget and Tax and to the Senate is the state's gain. And I've appreciated your friendship all these years we've worked together and expect to continue that. I don't expect to be calling you very often, but I'm happy for you in that position. I don't think there could be a better person at this point. So it's a great placement.
Thank you.
Mr. Vice Chair.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to say how proud I am of you. I remember some years ago with Senator Exum, who brought you to me and said he wants to run for office. And I think we were among the first to endorse you in Prince George's County. I've seen you work just in a way that is that's excellent. You've shown that, and I'm sure that in this office you will do the same thing. We are all rooting for you, and we're all here for you. And if I get a speeding ticket, I will call you. Sure. Okay. Love you, man. Love you much.
Thank you.
Senator Carozza.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and it's nice to be here for the first meeting. Colonel Jackson, you often remind me that we were on the bus together when we were first delegates, and I appreciate that we served together there and on Appropriations Committee. And I appreciated that you took some time when you were making the rounds before this hearing, and we had a candid conversation. You touched on it in your remarks, but I wanted to follow up on the conversation we had about partnerships. I believe you are the type of leader that will not only build but strengthen partnerships, but I specifically wanted to give you the opportunity on how we can strengthen partnerships, particularly in this time of tension with our federal partners, all federal law enforcement, including ICE, and how we can do that in a way that serves the good of all the people of Maryland.
Absolutely. Thank you. And we did ride the bus together. I think there's a number of us that sit in here. Look, I think, quite frankly, public safety cannot work without partners. The Maryland State Police has a very strong relationship with our federal partners, and we're going to continue that despite any political challenges that we come across. At the end of the day, the citizens of Maryland and in our region deserve the best, and we are committed to continue that relationship. We have some meetings coming up with our federal partners to reassure them of our commitment to the safety of the 6.5 million citizens of Maryland, as well as the million or so who traverse our county or our state every day to come to work, to school, or to travel our highways. So we are certainly committed to those relationships, and we look forward to strengthening them. I will tell you that as we enhance our partnerships with the 188 members of this General Assembly, you will be kept informed about our partnerships, each and every one of you. And in particular for our 23 barracks that sit throughout the state of Maryland. You're going to get to know, if you don't already know, who sits in those buildings, who supports and protects you each and every day. So this is a mutually beneficial partnership, something I believe in. One of the things that I know better than I know many things is how to build consensus. And we drive that home consistently. So I look forward to continuing to work with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, the chair recognizes Senator McCray.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I know to a lot of us, I speak for myself, but not only for my guy next to me, just being a big brother. And and I was about to say senator, but Mr. Superintendent, it's never been one day where you have not modeled the example in my presence of what courage, conviction, but more importantly, composure looks like. And I just say thank you for those lessons. I hope your grandchildren hear that, but it's not one day where you do not always set the core around family, and I deeply appreciate that. And I heard from Senator Harris's comments, and we've also saw it from community standpoint. So just, I've never used rode the bus together, but he's made me kind of program me with that language. And when I look around this room and I see Senator Carrozza, Senator Sidnor, Senator Hayes, Senator Smith, and so many of us, we rode the bus together. Mike McKay, Senator McKay. We rode that bus together, but it has been a pleasure to serve with you. And I think that Senator King said it perfect. You know, we lost a good senator, and I feel like I lost a friend, but it is the state's benefit, the state's gain to have you just now. Thank you.
I appreciate that. And I just know this, there's another one that's in the room that we rode the bus together. It's your chairman as well. So we were on the bus. We were on the bus together, but no, I look out that partnership. I'm not gone too far, so I'm not gone too far.
you.
Augustine?
Thank you so very much. I just wanted to support the nomination of my dear friend, Superintendent Jackson. He's just such an exceptional leader, exceptional individual, so much integrity that he's going to bring to this role. I am just really grateful for the service that you have provided to the state of Maryland, to Prince George's County, and I know that you will continue to do just great things for our state in this role, and I just really support this nomination. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, the President of the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to hold the nomination.
All the way from the top.
You know, I told him you guys are gonna have to sweat. You know, no,
I am
look,
already sweating. Trust me.
in all seriousness, you know, the true test of a man or woman is when one acts without expecting anything in return, and when they think no one else is watching. And from the interactions and experiences that we've had together, there's no better person than you to lead this organization. Thank you, and I look forward to supporting your nomination with enthusiasm.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I appreciate the levity. Dried up my sweat a little bit. So.
Yeah. And if I could say that you're right. We did come in together. You know, we were on the bus together, as well as plenty of us in here. And you were a serviceman, we're a family man, and you're an awesome man. So we're looking for great things from you, sir. So,
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good enough.
All right, cool. That it?
Are there any?
Am I free to go?
Oh, I think that's it. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank
All right. The next nominee will be from for the Department of Budget and Management, and that's Jake Weissman, and the senator who will be presenting will be Senator Guile from District 33.
Just waiting for everybody to file out. Quite the procession. All right. Good evening, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, members of the committee. I am proud to support Jake Weissman's nomination as Secretary of the Department of Budget and Management. I think you all know him, so I won't recite his resume. But I do want to state at the outset that he is exceptionally well qualified to do this job. He brings deep subject matter expertise, a strong command of the budget process, and of course, a clear understanding of how state government actually functions day to day. However, what I do want to focus on, recently I mentioned to somebody what a wonderful and kind human being he is, and a really good person. And I think they said something along the lines of, yeah, but is he like competent? I'm like, he is, like hands down, definitely competent and qualified. But I do think it is important that a person in leadership embody those qualities of being a good person, of being kind, of being thoughtful. And Jake is genuinely one of my favorite people. He is deeply respectful of others. He values different perspectives. He approaches his work with humility and integrity. He treats people well, not because it is strategic, but it is because who he is. And I think that combination, both technical expertise with strong human leadership, is exactly what this role requires. Effectiveness in this position isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet or statutory authority. It's about trust, relationships, and his ability to work collaboratively across agencies, branches, and points of view. I believe that leaders who listen, who build consensus, and who respect the people around them get better results and create stronger institutions. I think Jake embodies these values every day while also bringing the experience, judgment, and competence this role demands. And for those reasons, I strongly and enthusiastically ask for the committee's support of Jake Weissman's nomination. Thank you.
It's weird being on this side of the podium. Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Mr. President, members of the committee for having me today. Thank you, Senator Guile, for that warm introduction. I really appreciate being able to call you my senator and really cherish your friendship. I'd like to just quickly recognize my parents who are here today, Danny and Grace Weissman, and my kids, Caleb and Ari, who are watching from the comfort of their mom's home. I'm going to be home soon to pick you up, and it's going to be a regular bedtime, so if you're listening. I'm honored to be here today and appreciate the governor's nomination for this role. When I sat down with the governor in December to talk about this, we spent a lot of time talking about relationship building and collaboration with the legislature, with our agencies, and with outside partners. The approach is not new to me. It's one I became adept at in these buildings during my time working for Senate President Emeritus Miller and Senate President Ferguson. We often discussed how to collaborate on critical issues, how to build consensus, and how to disagree without being disagreeable. It's the same approach I will bring to this job. In my short time at DBM, I've been reminded of the critical role that the department plays, not only in the development of the state budget, but in so many other areas that keep state government running. From ensuring an effective human resources system to helping to collect state revenue through our central collections unit, to supporting agencies as they respond to audit findings, DBM touches nearly every corner of state government. We've approached this work in the spirit of partnership, and I want to thank Chair Gazzoni and the members of the Budget and Taxation Committee for the many productive conversations we had as the budget was being developed this past year. I look forward to many more conversations, not just during the session, but during the rest of the year as the work continues. The work we're doing today at DBM is also preparing us for the difficult decisions ahead. We are strengthening our internal culture and morale, but just as importantly, we are building stronger and more collaborative relationships with our partners, especially the Department of Legislative Services. We are continuously looking for opportunities to evolve, to improve how we're organized, and to create more efficient systems, always with the goal of ensuring every taxpayer dollar is spent responsibly and efficiently. When I left the Senate President's office, I spent time in two sectors deeply affected by decisions made in the budget process: local government in Montgomery County and higher education in my alma mater, UMBC. Those experiences allowed me to see state government not just from inside these halls, but as a stakeholder. And they only strengthened my belief that strong communication and a willingness to always talk is critical, and that it is essential to move past the previous day's event and be ready to work anew the next day. In this position, my promise to you is the same as my promise has been in the past, that I will always be available to talk, that I will always be looking to collaborate, and I will always believe that by working together, we can best serve the people of Maryland. I truly look forward to continuing to work together, and I humbly ask for your support as the Secretary of the Department of Budget and Management. Thank you.
Okay. Senator King?
Mr. Chair, Jake has been one of my best buddies since I came to Annapolis 100 years ago. and was very instrumental in me getting reelected in 2010, where I didn't win by very many votes. But he's been a very, very dear friend and confidant ever since then. And I was so amazed, not amazed, I was impressed when we had the budget presentation, and I've watched a lot of budget presentations. And Jake was able to stand up there and flip through the slides, and he had notes, but he didn't even need to use the notes, and knew that budget inside out. And to me, that just shows that he knows what he's doing. He's helping to lead us in the right direction, and I don't think there could be a better person at this time to hold that position. So there you go.
Chair Gazzoni.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. When I heard of your nomination, it was obvious to me immediately that you were and are the best possible person to be doing this job right at this point in time. There's lots that need to be accomplished in putting together and managing a $70 billion budget. And what's included in that are lots of things that affect people's lives. We talk multiple times a week. We meet in person at least once a week. You have shown an extraordinary ability to communicate, extraordinary ability to be a partner. And I just can't tell you how thrilled I am to have you in this role. It is going to make for a better government and better lives for lots of people.
I appreciate that.
Money man.
The chair recognizes Senator McKay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair and members of this committee, as you all well know, that back in May we had a disastrous flood in Allegheny County, Georges Creek. And I bring this up because I am just at all in your ability, sir, to show empathy, to show fiscal responsibility, but more especially the forethought and working with me to try to help the residents of my district through this tough time. And you didn't have to do that. You did not have to do that. And so, Mr. Chair, I am just in awe and just really, really appreciate everything that Jake has done. I'm telling you things that you already know about this gentleman, but coming from Western Maryland, when we were on our back and we needed help, he came through. So thank you, Mr. Chair, for this opportunity, sir.
Sure, Senator, and that will be noted for the record. Okay, Senator Carrozza.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and Mr. Secretary, it's good to see you. And I also want to first thank you. When I became a new senator, you were very helpful, and I appreciate that. You know, when I came to you with certain questions and you were helpful. So first of all, I thank you for that, and I recognize that. Two, I appreciated the conversation we had when you were making your rounds before this hearing, and we had a pretty candid conversation about some of the needs in the rural parts of Maryland, and you know, hearing what you've done in Western Maryland and Senator McKay, that's very encouraging. I think you saw that I also pointed out some real voids on the eastern shore of Maryland when it came to special education facilities and the lack of them on the eastern shore. And I guess my question is, you know, just to, again, for the record, to kind of secure your commitment to look at the entire state, especially the rural areas which have been, you know, overlooked in the past.
Absolutely, Senator, and I appreciate that. I really appreciate our conversation, you pointing out kind of the midshore on down, just that huge vacancy, and look forward to working with you on the issue. I really appreciate your advocacy.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to start by reassuring my colleagues I'm not going to filibuster this nomination. I agree with everything that's been said, even though I haven't heard some late, for which I apologize, because I really wanted to be here for this, because I am as impressed and have been over many years with your judgment, your skill, and your ability to work with people. And looking forward to voting for you. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
All right, the chair recognizes Senate President Ferguson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to double secret probation hold this nominee. No, in all seriousness, it is a pleasure to support your nomination. I do want to note, I second all of the remarks that have been said, that when it comes to conference committee, you are a product of the Senate, right?
You'll be proud to know, Mr. President, that in the appropriations square pool for the Super Bowl, I got $100 from them. So you know.
There we go. All right, excellent, excellent. Well, we can put that somewhere too. Excellent. Look forward to supporting you.
All righty, any other questions? Seeing none. Okay, now, before I call to the podium the judges on the agenda for tonight, if all judges could stand for a moment while counsel makes her way to administer the oath to tell the truth. Under Senate rules, nominees for judgeship must be under oath before their testimony tonight.
If you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear, under the penalties of perjury, that the statements you make and the testimony you give before this committee will be the truth and nothing but the truth? I do.
All right. Next, I'll be pinch hitting for one of my colleagues, Senator Watson from District 23, and Judge Morrissey will, Chief Judge for the District Court of Maryland, will be coming up next, and I'll read a little something that I put together for him. It is my privilege today to bring before the committee for consideration the nomination of Honorable John P. Morrissey for reappointment as the Chief Judge of the District Court of Maryland. As we know, the District Court serves as the People's Court, the judicial venue where the highest volume of Marylanders interact with our legal system. It requires the leadership who is not only a brilliant jurist, but also a seasoned administrator and capable of managing statewide dockets, operational efficiency, and the most important, ensuring all equal access to justice. Judge Morrissey has demonstrated these qualities and more during his tenure. Since taking the helm, Judge Morrissey has led with a commitment to integrity, efficiency, and fairness. He has managed complex caseloads ranging from landlord-tenant disputes to critical criminal matters with a calm demeanor and a deep understanding of the law. Under his leadership, the District Court has continued to modernize, improving access for self-represented litigants and fostering a culture of professionalism across all 12 districts. He possesses that rare combination of steadfast wisdom and a sound legal knowledge of the Constitution requires of a judiciary. More importantly, he understands that every case, regardless of its size, is significant to the individuals appearing before him. Judge Morrissey is highly regarded by his peers on the bench, by the practicing bar, and by the administrative staff who runs our courts. His reputation for treating everyone who enters his courtroom with dignity and respect is well documented. Reappointing Chief Judge Morrissey is an investment in stability, integrity, and fair administration of justice in the state of Maryland. Therefore, it is with great pleasure that I recommend a favorable report on the reappointment of Judge John P. Morrissey as Chief Judge of the District Court of Maryland. Now I welcome Judge Morrissey to the podium.
Thank you very much, Chair Brooks and Vice Chair Muse and President Ferguson. I think I've worked with each and every one of you over the time, and I recognize the commitment and hard work that you all do day in and day out every day. And if you can just ignore every time we've opposed one of your bills when you're considering my comment, I'd very much appreciate that. It has been an honor of my life for the last 20 years to serve as a district court judge, the last 12 of which have been as chief judge of the court. I've been through two chief judges, and now I currently work with Chief Justice Fader. But I'm humbled by the responsibility that's been entrusted to me. It's quite a responsibility, as you can imagine. And I wake up every morning and rededicate myself to that commitment, because the mission of the district court is to provide fair, efficient, and effective justice to all that come before it. And I can assure this body that I will give 100% of my effort to that every day. We like to say in the district court that the district court is where justice starts, and I firmly believe that, and we have an obligation to the citizens to make the court as efficient and as fair as possible, and we strive to do that every day. I'd like to take just one moment to recognize some of the other judges that are going to come here. There's a combination of some other, we're getting to be the old timers here with Judge Mosley and Judge Pryl, who we've all served 20 years together. And then we have some midterms, Judge Broughton, who's on her 10th year, Judge Dunn, and a couple others. And then we have a new crop of judges, which is always great to bring in so that we have new, fresh talent coming into the court every year. And they're in the process of going through, most of them are going through their training, and soon they'll be out on their own to serve the people of Maryland. And then finally, I'd like to recognize and thank my college sweetheart and my wife of 32 years, Christine Morrissey. You should be envious. She's just retired from her second career. Her first career was as a Foreign Service officer in the State Department, and her second career was as a professor at the United States Naval Academy. So now she's fully retired, I think. And I think she thinks my retirement is that I stay employed. So I hope that you all will consider my confirmation favorably, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you'd like me to.
Chair Smith. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And to the Chief Judge, I just want to say that I want to thank you for your collaborative spirit and all the work that you've done and the example that you've set through your example of expertise and collaboration with the legislature, but also through your stewardship. I mean, you've gone through COVID, you've gone through rules change, you've been able to stewardship over MDEC, revolutionizing the People's Court. You've done some really amazing things that have not always been touted because of your personal demeanor and your humble approach to your work. But I cannot express enough to this committee how much you've done to improve our system, and your steady leadership, your skilled leadership has really done wonders to ensure that Marylanders have access to justice and that our court systems are fair and reliable. So I cannot thank you enough, and I'm happy to support your nomination.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Okay, the chair recognizes Mr. President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to reiterate what Chair Smith said about Judge Morrissey and just his leadership, particularly for me in the space of mental health and mental illness and substance use disorder, and how he really just leads with such compassion and patience with us, although he is firm as well. He can be firm when we're going against each other on bills, as he said. But that's okay, because he does it with a clean heart for the people, particularly for the people of Prince George's County. We're very proud of you as a native Prince Georgian who has stayed and really given all that you have to our state. Look forward to you continuing to give to our state, and I very much support this nomination. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Augustine. And
Chair Bidle?
I'm a Bowie kid, and I grew up with Senator Hershey, so I hope you won't hold that against me. Senator Bidle?
Judge, I just want to thank you for always taking my calls. I'm not an attorney, not law enforcement, but when we worked together on a lot of motor vehicle issues, you were always responsive, and I still have your cell phone number if I need it. But I just want to thank you for always being responsive, and look forward to working with you for a few more years.
Thank you, Senator.
Okay. Chair Feldman.
Judge, you were doing fantastic till you mentioned that Bowie or Hershey thing. I'm tempted to put the hold on, but I'm going to refrain because you have done a fantastic job. But
You can take the kid out of Bowie, right? But very proud to have grown up. I live about a mile from where I grew up as a child in Bowie. I don't think my wife is quite as happy about that little notable thing, but I do love Bowie, and I've been a lifelong resident. A few years I lived in Anne Arundel County, but the entire rest of my life I've lived in Prince George's County.
Okay, any other questions? If not,
Thank you for consideration, Chair.
okay. Okay, now, those of you who have agendas, now we will go and we'll start from the top of that. So next we have Danielle Marie Mosley from Anne Arundel County District 7 District Court, but prior to that we will have her being introduced by Senator Henson.
Thank you, colleagues. It is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you all Judge Danielle Mosley. Although she needs no introduction, she will be seeking her third appointment to the bench here in Annapolis, here serving on our district court. I am a practitioner of the law, so I reached out to other practitioners as well to ask them about Judge Mosley. And there were two themes that came up when people were speaking about her as a jurist. And one of them was, people said she's very knowledgeable. People spoke about how well she is versed in the law, even as we constantly change the law. They talked about how well she's always versed in it. And the second one that people said about Judge Mosley is that she garners respect. Not that she commands respect, not that she demands respect, but that she garners respect. She earns respect. Whether you're a pro se litigant in her courtroom, whether you're a lawyer, a practitioner in her courtroom, whoever you are, whether you're a colleague, but they said that she garners respect. Those were the themes that came up when talking about Judge Danielle Mosley. When you look at her resume and her background, what you all have in front of you, you will know why the governor appointed her to the bench and why he's appointed her for a third time to serve on our district court. So it is with that, colleagues, that I am distinctly proud and honored to present to you all Judge Danielle Mosley for reappointment to the District Court of Anne Arundel County. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening, President Ferguson, Chair Brooks, Vice Chair Muse. I would like to thank you for your consideration, your thoughtful consideration for my, and the committee, sorry. I'm a little nervous. I speak to the public all the time, for your thoughtful consideration regarding my, my nomination for the next 10 years as the Associate Judge for Anne Arundel County, the Annapolis in the District Court. I also would like to thank Governor Westmore and his office for my reappointment for these next 10 years. I would be remiss if I did not thank three people who came with me today. The first two, my parents, Elwood and Eileen Mosley, and the second is my partner, John Ryan. These three individuals support me and they believe in me even when I don't believe in myself. When times get hard, they always have my back, and they always tell me that I can do. I have been an associate judge in Anne Arundel County for 20 years. As Judge Morrissey said, and I have had the privilege to not only dedicate myself to the Maryland judiciary, but the citizens of Anne Arundel County. For most of my career, I have been in public service. I initially became a judge in order to give back, did not necessarily understand what that meant until I began the practice as a district court judge. I am always excited and always ready to help those who come before me. I am always able to support my colleagues, and I'm really excited that one of my colleagues here who started with me in 2006 is here with me now, Tom Pryl, Judge Pryl. I am looking forward to another 10 years of service in the District Court of Anne Arundel County, and actually in the Maryland judiciary. And I am thanking you today, and I'm thanking you for your consideration, for your thoughtful consideration of my confirmation. And I thank you ahead of time. I am just so blessed to be here today. And thank you very much.
Okay, do we have any questions? Seeing none?
Thank you
Judge.
again. Take care.
Our next nominee for reappointment is Judge Thomas Joseph Prial, and the senator for that District 30 is here again, Senator Henson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to present Judge Prial to you all for consideration. Similarly to Judge Mosley, I reached out to practitioners of the law, to colleagues, to ask about Judge Prial and what makes him unique and special on our bench here at the district court. And what folks said about Judge Prial is that he is fair and that he is kind. And when you look at Judge Prial's background, it's probably that time that he spent in our circuit court as a magistrate hearing family law cases, where you have to really have an open mind and an open heart when you are hearing from folks who are not having their life unfold as they probably thought and envisioned it would. And you have to have this sort of compassion and fairness to hear people's side of the story and to make a reasonable and fair decision under what are not ideal circumstances. You can see how that prepared him for being that sort of fair and open-minded person on the district court bench that practitioners describe him as. So you have his credentials in front of you, and I hope with that you all will give him fair consideration. And it is my honor and my privilege to present to you Judge Thomas Prial for reappointment to the district court in Anne Arundel County. Thank you.
Chairman Brooks, Vice Chairman Moose, President Ferguson, members of the committee, good evening. I would like to start by introducing some people who came with me tonight. We have common here with, well, I have a lot in common with Judge Morrissey. We have the same number of years of experience, and we've been married the same number of years. I found out tonight, 32 years. Well, not that they know about. But my wife Helen is here. My daughter, our daughter, Mary Helen, our son, Tommy. Our other son is not here. He's on his way. I think he'll be here in time for dinner, of course. Sorry, I want to thank you all for your support in being here this evening. It was a surprise. I wasn't expecting them to be here, so it's a nice treat. I want to thank Senator Henson for your introduction and your support. And Senator Henson's staff through this process has been very courteous and professional, and I really appreciate that. I would like to thank Governor Moore, of course, for the reappointment and the opportunity to continue to serve on the district court. I certainly want to thank the committee for your time and your consideration. Much like Judge Morrissey said, it has been a great honor to have the legal career that I've been able to have, and certainly these past 20 years have been the crown on that. It's been a great honor and a great pleasure to be a district court judge. This will, of course, be the last time I'll be up for confirmation. I'll age out not too soon, but coming up. So it's a real milestone for me this evening, and I really appreciate the time and consideration of the committee, and I hope to have your full support. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Seeing none, thank you,
All right.
Judge.
Thank you all very much. Good evening.
Okay, our next nominee is Judge Kent Joseph Bowles, Jr., and he is from the Baltimore City, District 1, and will be introduced by our President Ferguson.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, members of the committee. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I will be brief. This is Judge Bowles is a reappointment, has served for the last 10 years honorably, successfully in the District Court for Baltimore City and District 1. Has great respect from his colleagues and certainly deserves to be reappointed moving forward. He's a born and raised Dundalk guy. Went to Dundalk Community College before being brought up with baseball to Towson and then to University of Baltimore. So just an excellent gentleman who we'd like to see move forward to be reappointed as District Court Judge. Thank you.
Good evening, President Ferguson, and thank you so much for the kind words, Chairman Brooks, Vice Chairman Muse, honorable members of the committee. I want to thank, first of all, Governor Moore for his faith in me for reappointment. And I want to thank each of you for performing your statutory duty here today. I want you to know that service as a district court judge has been the honor of my lifetime. I've had a decade on the bench. I'll have a little less than a decade moving forward. And I sincerely hope that you will give my appointment favorable consideration. I want to thank, again, President Ferguson. He was my city councilman. Now he's my state senator. And he has always been someone who I knew to be both honorable and a great intellect, and I think that the Senate is very happy to have his leadership. With that, I will answer any questions you may have.
Okay, any questions? Oh, yes, Senator Hayes.
I was going, I'm not Senator Hayes.
I'm Senator McCray. Senator McCray. I'm looking at who's next.
I was going to give my Senate President a hard time. Mr. President, can you tell us what years you served on the City Council?
Okay. All right. Thanks, Judge.
Thank you so much.
All right. All righty then. Next reappointment judge would be Judge William Michael Dunn, and Senator Hayes will be introducing him. District 40.
Yeah, the fighting 40th District. Good evening, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, members of the Executive Nominations Committee, Senator Antonio Hayes representing the 40th Legislative District. I'm proud to introduce tonight Judge Dunn, graduate of Salisbury University, University of Baltimore Law School, after serving private practice. Judge Dunn has served over 10 years as a district court judge since 2016 and serving 1 year as a magistrate. Interesting enough, like our fellow senator, he's, bestseller, he's an author of a book, Baltimore Sacred Spaces, talking about all of the rich history that some of our institutions around the state have. But more importantly, and most interesting, Mr. President, is that Judge Dunn's call and interest to public service was sparked by his T-ball coach at 6 years old, the Honorable Mike Miller. And so, senators, please join me in welcoming to the podium Judge Dunn.
Good evening, senators, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, Mr. President. It's an honor to be in front of all of you today. We all know that public service is a great responsibility and a great honor. And there's no better compliment that we as public servants can have than to be asked to serve again. So I do appreciate your consideration tonight for my reappointment. I'm grateful to the former Governor Hogan for his appointment 10 years ago and his trust in me to be able to handle the job of district court in Baltimore City. I'm thankful for my former senator, State Senate President, Mr. Ferguson, who supported me and was actually my sponsor in front of this committee 10 years ago. I'm appreciative of all the conversations we had prior to my first commitment 10 years ago. I can tell you that all your thoughts have not fallen on deaf ears. Your voice appears in my head all the time as I sit through some of the dockets that are most important to you. So I appreciated your past support. I hope to get your future support, but I also appreciate the advice and your perspective of many of the things that we deal with at the district court. But I'd also like to thank Governor Moore for his reappointment last month and hopefully reconfirmation with you guys tonight. It is an honor of my lifetime to serve as a district court judge. And I'd like to thank my senator, Senator Hayes from the great Legislative District 40, and for all of you on this committee. I will promise each one of you that if I get reconfirmed as a district court judge, that you have my word that I'll go to work every day, as I have for the last 10 years, trying to get better at my job each day and working hard for the citizens of Maryland and to promote justice fairly and equally, and to do that with a sense of humility and impartiality. So if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. All right, thank you.
Any questions? I see none. Well, remaining in Baltimore City, District 40.
Yes, and the Fighting 40th.
Okay.
With all those thank yous and mine coming last, this almost was my first withdrawal. But thank you, Judge Dunn. I appreciate you. Senator Antonio Hayes, for the record, District 40. Another great, great, great person. 40th District is turning out great Baltimoreans, great Marylanders. Next, we have Judge Freeman, who has over 15 years of experience across local, state, and federal levels in both criminal and civil law. Beginning his career in 2010, he served as Assistant State's Attorney for the Baltimore City, where he prosecuted thousands of cases in both district and circuit courts, including matters of theft, robbery, and attempted murder. In 2022, Judge Freeman was additionally appointed to quasi-judicial position on the Board of Municipal and Zoning Appeals, Senator Ferguson. He's a native of West Baltimore, Senator McCray. He graduated from University of Maryland Francis King Carey School of Law in 2009. He also holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from Lincoln University in Pennsylvania, earned in 2006, and was admitted to the bar in 2010. And just like myself, he is the very proud dad of both a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, where he continues to raise his family in West Baltimore. Please welcome Judge Freeman to the podium.
Good evening, Chairman, Vice Chairman, Mr. President, and members of the committee. Thank you, Senator Hayes, for that wonderful introduction in your service to Baltimore. I sincerely appreciate the committee for granting me the opportunity to speak to you today. I would like to deeply thank Governor Wes Moore for appointing me to the District Court of Maryland for Baltimore City. Thanks to Chief Justice Fader, he's not here today, but Chief Judge Morrissey and Judge Hangerer for your warm welcome to the bench. As someone born and raised in West Baltimore, near Poplar Grove and Emerson Avenue, if you're familiar, it means so much to me to serve in my hometown. Growing up, I cannot have imagined the privilege of addressing you in this capacity, and I hold the significance and responsibilities that accompany this position in the highest regard. Every day, I will dedicate myself to carrying out my duties as a public servant and upholding the law with fairness, justice, and impartiality, while always showing respect for the dignity and humanity of every person. I also want to thank my colleagues, friends, and family for their support throughout this process. Particularly my husband, who's here today in the orange-red jacket, and my children, as Senator Hayes mentioned, who are 1 and 3, but turning 2 and 4 this month. They are my heart, and I appreciate their patience over the past year. Again, I truly appreciate your time, and thank you again. I'm ready for any questions.
Do we have any questions? Senator Sidnor?
Did the good gentleman explain which fraternity he's a member of?
I'm sure it's a great employee.
Mr. Gentleman, would you mind sharing?
Yes, I am a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
Thank you very much.
I guess that's the last question.
That's the last question.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
You just did it, man.
Yeah. All right. All right, our next appointee is coming from District 43 in Baltimore City. Senator Mary Washington will be doing the introduction of Judge Elizabeth Lopez.
Good evening, colleagues. It's my great honor to actually introduce to you two of the new judges to the board. So, while some of my colleagues have had some, good traditions, good folks that have served, the 43rd district is about the glow up, and we are going to increase, and we are adding to what I believe is already a wonderful judiciary, but these two candidates will add something that we very much need. And I just want to say that I've never been more mindful of the important role that our judiciary plays now in these days, and that as legislators, the policies that we make, the laws that we pass, being in the state of Maryland where we know or can have confidence that the judiciary will interpret the law, will do that, as we've said in the past, with the best interests of the public, but that in our state, we have three branches of government, and I don't assume that doesn't happen everywhere. So I'm really, really grateful that I'm able to appreciate and have that in our state. So the first appointment, Judge Elizabeth Lopez, please come up. And she's a constituent, of course, obviously, and was appointed as an associate judge. She's a first-generation college graduate whose career reflects a long-time commitment to justice and equity and public service. And in fact, she began her working life as a migrant farm worker, an experience that shaped her life and her understanding of systemic inequities, and also the ways in which our laws are designed in their sort of most generous way to address those inequities. She's devoted 20 years to public defense, including 15 years serving the people of Baltimore City. She represented children charged as adults in some of the most serious cases, later supervising attorneys in juvenile detention and shaping developmentally informed defense practices. She also served in the Emerging Adult Litigation Specialist for the Office of the Public Defender and advanced our statewide reforms on fairness and, again, attributing the law. Ms. Lopez served as a federal public defender. She was a leading attorney in some very complex federal litigation. And beyond the courtroom, she really continues to engage in that purpose. So when I said adding something, we often have, it's good to have this balance of both defenders and prosecutors having had that experience, but I think mostly what they share is the commitment to the Maryland law. So again, I ask for your endorsement and confirmation of Judge Lopez. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Senator Mary Washington. I really appreciate all of your support, not only today, but also in this very grueling process that finally got me here. Thank you to Governor Moore, Chief Judge Morrissey, Judge Henger, and Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Mr. President. And also a very, very special thank you to my husband, who has been by my side for 26 years and I am so grateful for that partnership. It is truly an honor to be here, and it is an honor exactly for the reasons that Senator Washington mentioned. You would have asked 6-year-old migrant farm worker who was working in the fields of Northern California picking tomatoes and cucumbers that one day she will be standing here she would have not believed you. And so it's a reflection of this great state of Maryland. And I thank Governor Moore for seeing me for all that I am and entrusting me in this great privilege. I think it is an honor to be able to serve the citizens of Baltimore City. And all I can say is that I will work tirelessly, as I did 12 hours in the grueling sun, to treat the citizens of Baltimore City with the respect and the dignity that they deserve. It is what drove me to apply to this job. It is what drives me every single day when I wake up in the morning. I will work hard to support the mission of our court, to uphold the law, and to serve our citizens, that they deserve to be done so in a way that also sees them, just the way that I feel like I've been seen. I would want to be able to see the citizens that come before me in that same manner. And just if anybody has any questions.
Any questions? Chair Smith.
Lots of great testimony tonight, but I just want to say, Judge, that was really special, so thank you for sharing that, and looking forward to supporting your nomination.
Thank you.
All righty. Seeing no other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Washington, our next nominee is Judge Michael William, I'm sorry, no.
Noel Newman.
Noel Newman, yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Sure.
Again, as I said, representing that balance that we look for, that fairness, that sense of equity and equality under the law, Judge Newman brings nearly 2 decades of legal experience at the bench. She was admitted to the bar in 2006 and served as counsel in a law firm. Prior to that, she spent more than 16 years in the state's attorney's office, rising to deputy state's attorney and prosecuting cases in every single trial division, including special victims and homicides. She has tried more than 100 cases to verdict. Judge Newman is a graduate of the Great Morgan State University, that's also in the 43rd District, and she graduated from Catholic University of America and Columbus School of Law. She's held numerous leadership roles within the legal community. There are just so many if you look at her resume, and she's really recognized for her commitment and fairness and integrity. And she's also a neighbor, and she and her husband have understand that our house is the best decorated house at Halloween. And I can't be more happy than to ask you to welcome and to endorse and support our brand new judge, Judge Noel Newman. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no problem. Good evening, committee. Thank you, Senator Washington, for that great introduction and being a great neighbor and having the best Halloween parties. And thank you, Chair Brooks, Vice Chair Muse, President Ferguson, and members of this great committee for having me. I am honored to be before you and grateful and honored to be appointed by Governor Moore. I am deeply grateful for my family, grateful that my husband sped down the highway to get here, not on time, but close. He was here, so thank you. And I am grateful for my beautiful children, Nyla and Grayson, 12 years old and 9 years old. They would not sacrifice to come down here. They just wouldn't do it. But I am so proud of my legal career up to this point. But I'm most proud of being a child of Baltimore. I grew up Southwest Baltimore, but met my husband at Mount Royal Elementary Middle School, which was District 40. But we gratefully, yes, and then I went to Western High School, yes, where I am grateful that I met such great friends. You know, Polly was just right next door, so I can gratefully say and thank you to Senator Sidnor and Senator Hayes for being great friends and mentors. best networking ever is to go to Baltimore City Public Schools. Prior to this appointment, as you know, I've served as a prosecutor, and to be a prosecutor in the state's attorney's office means that you're a prosecutor, you're a community worker, you're a lobbyist. I'm sure some of you may recognize my face because I've been here knocking on doors. Then I left the state's attorney's office and went to Pest and Cats Law, which was also boots on the ground, where not only did I litigate, but I became a defense attorney, which was brand new to me, but it also was eye-opening and it gave me a perspective that encouraged me and made sure that I knew that the next step would be that I would want to serve Baltimore City as a district court judge. That is where you are able to touch so many lives, and I knew that that's something I wanted to do. So if I have the honor to get your confirmation today, I promise to continue to serve the people of Baltimore and protect the rule of law with integrity, compassion, intelligence, and enthusiasm, because I know that this is a dream come true, and anyone who comes before me, no matter if it's a pro se litigant or a legal beagle, I know that I will treat them the absolute same with fairness. Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah. Senator McCray.
Yep. First, I just want to say to Judge Newman, puts the biggest smile on my face just to be able to say it. I just watch how much you pour into other people. I've watched how you pour into our city. It makes total sense just in how big your heart is. And I say that just knowing that lived experience matters. And I think that that's what I hear from that standpoint. I'm not a dove or I'm not a Polly Pert, but I just, or Polly Pert. But I just say thank you for your leadership. Thank you for stepping up, and thank you for being the best of Baltimore.
Thank you.
Okay. Senator Hayes.
Indeed. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you so much. Like my colleague, I endorse this nomination for Judge Newman. She and her husband Paris and I were class. He went to the best high school in Baltimore City, the Baltimore Polytechnic Engineers. But they used to be constituents in the 40th District, the Reservoir Hill community. And Senator Washington, you've definitely gained two valuable people. But no, definitely happy to see you. Was happy to learn of your appointment. As you've poured into so many, I just could imagine the days ahead of you and what you'll do in your service, as your continued service to the citizens of Baltimore. So happy to call you friend. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Hey, sure. All right, any other questions? Senator Sid Noor.
Not a question, but an observation that when Judge Newman said she was a daughter of Baltimore, these brothers over here just perked up, pulled out the camera, started recording. Everything that they said is on point, and I fully support the judge in this nomination.
Thank you, sir. It's been noted for the record. All righty. All right, our next appointee will be Judge Brett Engler, will be introduced by Senator Karen Lewis Young from District 3, Frederick County.
Good evening, colleagues. It's a real honor tonight to present to you one of the hardest working individuals in the judicial system in Frederick County. Judge Engler has had a career as a assistant state's attorney in Frederick County. Prior to that, she served as a law clerk to the Honorable Clayton Green. And for the last several years, she has served as the chief of domestic Violence Unit. What particularly impressed me as I read her very extensive biography is her collaborative work. She works particularly with law enforcement and many other entities to work together for a better understanding and build the body of knowledge around so many of the challenging public safety issues that we deal with today. The other thing that really stood out for me was the training she does, what I would call cross-functional training to better understand not only the body of knowledge behind particular issues, but some of the background. For example, why won't individuals who have been abused in domestic violence testify? And she brings that perspective for better understanding. She has received numerous awards and recognition, far too lengthy to mention here, but many of you may actually, particularly if you're in JPR, you may recognize her or her name because in the past 5 years, she's submitted testimony on 13 bills, mainly child abuse and neglect, stalking, revenge porn, and victims of non-fatal strangulation. That's a real expertise of hers as well. So before asking you to confirm her appointment, I just want to ask for a favor. Remember, I rode that bus too. Judge Engler.
Thank you to Senator Lewis Young for the kind introduction and for the support. Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Mr. President, thank you, and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to address you today. I, of course, want to express my sincere gratitude to Governor Moore for his appointment and for the confidence he showed in me and in giving me this new work of my life. I want to thank my family. My father is here today. He was a career naval officer, a survivor of the 9/11 Pentagon terrorist attacks. That taught me at a young age the unique trauma that can befall military families. My husband, Matt, and he's the father of our 2 children who are, I wouldn't say behaved enough to have been here tonight. I have a 7-year-old and a newly 3-year-old, so they are at home, but they're the light of my life. I would like to thank all of my colleagues, my mentors who supported me throughout my career in public service and doing domestic violence work, which is a difficult thing to have done for as long as I did it. You could not do that without a team behind you. And I want to acknowledge the survivors that I had the privilege of standing beside during my career who trusted me with their stories, their experiences during times of profound fear and uncertainty in their lives. They taught me the importance of listening carefully before deciding, and that justice is not abstract, it's human, and its results are rippling on an entire family, children, generations of a family, not only the victim that you help, but the defendant who you are seeking a particular sentence for. I knew that what I did as a prosecutor mattered, and what I decided rippled, and as will it as a judge, even more so. I want to thank the members of the Maryland legal community, including the Judicial Nominating Commission, various bar associations who took the time to review my application, and Governor Moore and others who, again, saw me as an individual. I want to thank Chief Judge Morrissey for the warm welcome. I want to thank Judge Broden, who you'll hear from in a few minutes, for welcoming me to this very new profession. A judge plays a vital role in the life of every community. I'm not a daughter of Frederick. I came to Frederick about 15 years ago, and that community embraced me. I found a place there as a military child. I would bounce around from place to place, and Frederick's become my home, and to get on the bench in that county is the honor of my lifetime. And I promise, if confirmed, I will continue to serve with impartiality, integrity, and a deep respect for the effects that every decision I have will have on the litigants before me. Thank you.
All righty. Do we have any questions? Seeing none? Thank you, Judge. All right. Next nominee is Judge Donald Walters, Jr. and it will be introduced by Senator James.
Thank you, members of the Executive Nomination Committee, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, and Senate President Ferguson. People in judicial proceedings know I often talk fast and try to keep things short, but I do want to slow myself down a little bit because this gentleman is here for the first time before you as a new district court judge in Harford County. I had the pleasure of getting to know him during the interview process. No, we did not know each other before, but we knew so many of the same people and admire so many of the same people in Harford County. And what I want to tell you is, because I think this is important, just having a conversation with the judge was so warm and inviting and compassionate and friendly that those things don't always come out in your resume where you have very serious, sober, background. And that's what I got from this gentleman. And I think that coupled with his very sober, very serious career as a prosecutor are vitally important, both components to be on the district court. And I'm going to touch on them both just briefly. Interestingly, he has 3 degrees. A Bachelor of Science from Hamden, Sydney, which I asked him what that was about. He said, nothing special, that's just what they call it, as opposed to a BA. And then a JD, obviously, from Baltimore, University of Baltimore, and then an interesting degree, Master of Science in Cybersecurity. So that's his education. He's had about 16 years as a in the state's attorney's office of both Baltimore City and Harford County. And of great interest to us on JPR, judicial proceedings, is he's been delving into some of the toughest cases there are: child sexual abuse, human trafficking. These are big priorities for us in the state of Maryland. And he has been very involved in testifying or providing expertise in these areas, supporting various legislation. And as I've learned from other state's attorneys I've worked for, carrying the ball in these cases is emotionally demanding. And I deeply appreciate all the district judges and all the judges who deal in these very difficult cases that most of us almost find hard to comprehend. And just simultaneously with his work as in the state's attorney's offices and as in general counsel, right, for the National Security Agency, that's what he was currently doing. Throughout all of this, he's been in the National Guard. And as an aside, this is he got an appointment or commission to the Naval Academy, but it was an injury that prevented you from going there. But that is Maryland National Guard's gain, because had he gone in that direction, I don't think he'd be a member of our National Guard, and I'm deeply grateful that he still wanted to serve in a military capacity. Just with his family, his wife is an assistant principal where his son goes to school. He has twins, and they go to the William S. James Elementary School. That did not sway me at all. And he has had a wonderful sort of private camaraderie with the governor because of their military background. But they're also a little competitive because the governor mentioned that, he was at Airborne. So I now hear from our judge that he may go to jump school. So he might be the first judge in the state of Maryland that jumps out of a plane. But I hope he lives through it, and I hope he can serve for Harford County for many, many years to come. I wholeheartedly support his nomination.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you very much, Senator James, for your kind words. Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Mr. President, esteemed members of the committee, thank you very much for your consideration this evening. And I can't express my thanks enough to Governor Moore for this honor. The honor to serve the county that's given so much to me as a lifelong Harford County resident in this capacity is beyond words. Second only to the honor of being a husband and a father. This is the greatest honor of my life as a proud product of the Edgewood community, as a proud veteran who, Harford County is a very militarily connected community. What I hope to bring to the bench and what I endeavor to bring to the bench is a sense of compassion and empathy, because there isn't an issue that touches our county that hasn't touched me personally. And I understand that every person that comes before me, regardless of what capacity they come before me in, I'm no more than 2 people removed. So I endeavor to bring, to dispense justice in a fair and efficient way, but with empathy and compassion, so that the people of Harford County who deal with our courts understand that we care and we're not just a monolith up there sitting, dispensing justice in a faceless, nameless manner. With that said, any questions?
Any questions? Just out of curiosity, Judge, what branch?
So Army National Guard, I have served in infantry, air defense, and combat engineer.
Okay, well, great. Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
Okay. Next nominee will be presented by Senator Lamb, and it's Judge Lisa Broughton from District 12.
Thank you. Pleased to be here. For the record, Clarence Lamb, Senator District 12, to present the Honorable Judge Lisa Broughton, who is the judge of the 10th District Court of Maryland of Howard County, has been there since 2016 and has presided over a variety of cases that the District Court oversees, including many criminal matters, small claims, and property disputes. Her service as a judge, along with her community service as a member of the Howard County Women's Bar Association's Girls Outreach Program, and also judicial mentor, among many things in her extensive resume, demonstrate her dedication to justice and to bettering the legal profession. And so when I asked around to other colleagues, other community leaders about Judge Broughton, invariably the response that I received from folks is that she's incredibly fair. And I think as a jurist, that is probably the highest honor that you can have. And so it's my pleasure to be able to urge the committee to support her reappointment and then turn it over to Judge Broughton.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Senator Lamb. Good evening, Mr. Chairman Brooks, Vice Chair Muse, Mr. President Ferguson, and all the other esteemed members on this committee. I know it's getting late. I want to just start off, if you would please allow me, to acknowledge and thank my husband, Paul, who is the consummate loyal partner and my best friend, and our beautiful, brilliant daughter, Ava, who's probably embarrassed that I just called her out on that. But I did want to thank them so much for their constant love and support. I would not be here without the both of you. I stand before you today as a career public servant. I spent the first 17 and a half years of my legal career as an assistant state's attorney in Howard County. A decade ago, Governor Hogan bestowed upon me the incredible privilege to continue that public service as a judge on the district court for Maryland in Howard County. And for the past 10 years, I have done my best to serve with honor, integrity, grace, patience, and humility, and to uphold the oath that I swore to, the very best of my ability, to ensure that all the litigants who appeared before me were granted their day in court and treated with the dignity and respect that they deserved. I am incredibly grateful to Governor Moore for reappointing me for another 10-year term, and I humbly ask for your consideration in granting me the opportunity to sit for another 10 years or less, so that I may continue to serve Howard County and the great state of Maryland. Thank you. If anyone has any questions?
Any questions? Seeing none? Thanks,
All right.
Judge.
Thank you very much.
All right, our next nominee will be Judge Sherry Waldrop, Senator Augustine, District 47.
Chair Brooks, Vice Chair Muse, members of the committee, I'm here to, and very pleased to present and ask for a favorable report on the nomination of Judge Sherry Waldrop for District Court in sitting in Prince George's County. Judge Waldrop is a child of Maryland, lifelong Marylander, who is a graduate of Duke University and Washington University School of Law. Her entire legal career has been in public service, starting at the Department of Justice, and then the majority of her legal career has been as a litigator in Prince George's County, primarily as an assistant state's attorney for 16 years with steady promotion and increasing responsibility, ultimately becoming the chief of 2 units simultaneously, those 2 units being the strategic investigations and the homicide units. She supervised a team of 15 attorneys and 5 support staff, oversaw the prosecution of cases, and prosecuted many complex, emotional, and high-profile cases herself, including some that they really were very high-profile cases in our county, and she did that herself, and really carried herself with great professionalism within those. Outside of her legal work, Judge Waldrop volunteers with the local animal shelter and as a part of a local animal rescue group. And her commitment to public service prompted her to apply for this vacancy on the district court bench. And Judge Waldrop is dedicated to providing a forum for the litigants that offers each party the opportunity to be fully heard, to fairly apply the law, and to rendering verdicts and judgments with reason and compassion. Now, ultimately, she strives to work in a way that gives the community confidence in the justice system. And with this in mind, I present and request a favorable report on Judge Waldrop's nomination for district court sitting on Prince George's County. Thank you.
Good evening. Chairman Brooks, Vice Chairman Muse, President Ferguson, members of the committee, President Pro Tem and my senator, Senator Augustine. It is such an honor to be here, and I cannot tell you how much more nervous I am right now than standing before a jury and giving a closing argument in a homicide case. So you have instilled that in me. Of course, I have to thank Governor Moore and his staff for their, not just support, but their confidence in me. Like Judge Lopez, who came before me, I am a first-generation college graduate in my family. So being here, having graduated from college, graduated from law school, having been given the opportunities to serve the public, having been given the opportunity to be the chief of the homicide unit in Prince George's County is really more than I ever anticipated. So being here today to ask for your endorsement in my nomination by the governor is something that I really never dreamed would be possible. But I can tell you that it took a lot of hard work to get here. It certainly wasn't just me. I'm supported today by my sister, my brother-in-law, my niece and nephew, who perhaps you haven't seen and also perhaps haven't heard, but they are 5 and 3, and I hope that in some way they remember this experience and having been here, and hopefully it's a positive memory for them. I'm supported by my administrative judge from Prince George's County, Judge Lisa Hall Johnson, who was kind enough to come here after running a full docket herself today. And that's just how she leads, and I appreciate being a part of the Maryland judiciary for that reason. I've had the opportunity to get to know people, to work with people since my appointment this summer. Judge Burton, who's left, but she was one of the leaders in our baby judge school, as we call it, getting to know the other judicial appointees, Judge Engler, and the other judges who are here today has been remarkable in that I realize that I have been appointed to join a group of people that are stellar. And we are led by none other than Chief Judge Morrissey, who comes from Prince George's County. So that is a really big honor for me as well. And I'll just finish by saying, I'm not a daughter of Prince George's County. Prince George's County has adopted me, accepted me, taken me in. I began there with my career. I loved it. I've moved into the county. So I am so thankful that I have been accepted and welcomed there. I hope that I'm given the opportunity to continue my hard work, to continue to prove that Governor Moore has made a good selection, and hopefully to prove to you all that you've made a good endorsement in my confirmation. and I'm happy to take any questions that anyone has.
All righty, do we have any questions?
All right.
Seeing none? Thanks,
Well,
Judge.
thank you again. I
Okay,
appreciate your
sure.
consideration.
All right, the next nominee will be introduced by Senator Carozza, and this is Judge Michael Farlow. Senator Carozza.
Good evening, colleagues, and before I introduce Judge Michael Farlow, I wanted to acknowledge that District Administrative Judge Melvin Jews is here with us tonight, and he represents and oversees Dorchester, Somerset, Worcester, Wycomico counties. Three of those are my counties, so thank you for coming all the way up. And it really is a true pleasure to introduce and enthusiastically support the appointment of Michael William Farlow to serve as judge of the District Court of Maryland, District 2, Worcester County. I wanted to share with my colleagues that the Farlow family has a legacy of dedicated public and community service on the shore. I personally know this family. His father, Ted Farlow, served 58 years as an active member of the Pittsville Volunteer Fire Department, including chief and president, and was also very helpful in guiding me when I first came to Pittsville to learn what I needed to learn. And I want to acknowledge your father and your family's key role in making sure that we move forward in putting a light at a very dangerous traffic intersection on Route 50 in Pittsville. If you all have ever gone to the beach, there's a light now to keep us all safe. I also want to acknowledge, when I say the family, his brother, Tad Farlow, has continued this dedicated service with the Pittsville Fire Department. And Judge Farlow has continued the family's fire service tradition as a lifetime member of the Pittsville Fire Department and current and active member of the Snow Hill Volunteer Fire Company, where he lives now in Snow Hill, which is also the county seat of Worcester County. Judge Farlow was the youngest serving elected official of Pittsville at the age of 19. He's a graduate of then Salisbury State, now Salisbury University, and a graduate of the Widener University Law School. His legal career is both as a prosecutor and a private attorney, and I believe that combination has prepared him well to serve as Worcester County District Court Judge. During his tenure with the Worcester County State's Attorney's Office, he was responsible for the supervision of attorneys and administrative staff, attorney training, and education. And this is what I wanted to share, especially with Chair Smith, that his duties included reviewing the most sensitive investigative reports, including cases of suspected child abuse. As a private attorney, he represented all manners of people, from blue-collar workers to professionals, from business owners to indigent defendants. And he also represented children in juvenile matters. And I think that's important. He's also served as a court-appointed best interest attorney, all important to us. When I see Judge Farlow and his talented and kind wife, Michelle, who also is an award-winning nurse practitioner with title Health Atlantic General Women's Health, and their two joyful daughters in the community, their daughters Ruby and Violet, I believe and I know that Judge Farlow's presence in the court will strengthen the public's trust in the legal system. We know that the District Court of Maryland is the people's court. And I think this combination of his experience, a unique experience, will really bring so much to the bench. So I present to you Judge Michael Farlow from Worcester County and strongly support his confirmation to serve as Worcester County District Court Judge.
Members of the committee, Chair, Vice Chair, President Ferguson, Senator Carozza, thank you very much for that kind introduction. Members of the committee, I know it's late and district court is known for brevity, but I do want to thank especially Governor Moore for the appointment to this position. There is, in the mission statement of the district court, a phrase that is very personal to me, and that is judges should be and always remember that they are the servants and not the masters of those who appear in front of them. And the district court is the people's court for a reason. We represent the people of our communities and we're from our communities. And it's especially important that we be out there and be visible and be seen. I want to thank Chief Judge Morrissey for his leadership. I want to thank Judge Jews for coming up here this evening to support me, as well as our district law clerk, Jessica Cook, who is just a fantastic law clerk, and so glad to have her out here tonight. I want to thank my wife, Michelle, who could not be here because my 8-year-old and my 5-year-old would not tolerate being still for this long. And as a service to this committee, she stayed home with them tonight. I would ask all of you for a favorable report so that I can continue this fantastic and wonderful mission. And on a personal note, it's great to see Senator McKay, whose father was an advisor of mine 30-some years ago in an organization we were both the head of called DMLA. So it's a pleasure seeing you, Senator. Any questions?
Thanks, Judge. The chair recognizes Senator McKay.
Well, thank you, Chair. The good judge kind of stole my thunder. I can attest that this gentleman has the leadership qualities that we are looking for. He is a true gentleman and a scholar. And thank you very much. During that time when my dad was the advisor, during that time for you as State Master Counselor, I was looking at the numbers. I was State Master Counselor before you, 6 years before that, in 1989. And so our history goes back very, very long. And I am just very, very honored to have you here today, sir, and look forward to casting a favorable vote. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, colleagues, we have one final nominee from the State Board, for the State Board of Elections, and that will be introduced by Senator Attar, District 41.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Mr. President, and members. So I have the privilege of sitting here for about 2 hours and watching Senator Hayes' facial expressions. Senator Hayes, his facial expressions, and I know I've been warned not to speak very long. But truly I have the privilege of introducing a dear friend of mine, a constituent of mine, and someone that I think everyone in this room knows very well, Eric Bryant. His resume goes back way before I was even born, not to age him, but he's been a lobbyist. I wasn't born that long ago, Senator. He's been a lobbyist around here. He's been chief of staff for Congressman Mfume. He was on the Judicial Nominating Committee, and he actually selected 1 or 2 of the judges that we saw here earlier today. But as many of us know, he has integrity. He's a good person, he's professional, and he will do this job. So I'm proud to introduce him, and I'm proud to ask for your favorable support of my dear friend, Mr. Eric Bryant. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you so much, Senator, for those overly kind and gracious words. I appreciate your friendship, your leadership, and your service to the 41st Legislative District. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, Mr. President, President Pro Tem, Majority Leader, Minority Leader, Minority Whip, and absentia, all the chairs and vice chairs in attendance. It's a stacked, it's a stacked committee. I'd like to thank you all for your consideration, your service to Maryland. I'd also like to thank the governor for this kind appointment and having me here today. To keep it brief, I say that you have my absolute commitment to be respectful in service to Maryland and the State Board of Elections, to be fair, and to be impartial. Those are my 3, that's my 3rd point. My 4th point is I'd like to acknowledge the Baltimore Metropolitan Senators, Hayes, McCray, and Sidnor. Then last but not least, my 4th point on this piece of paper is I'd like to thank my family for its enduring support. And because I've been in that spirit for some time now, I'd like to thank God for bringing me a mighty long ways. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All righty, do we have any questions? Oh, yes, Senator Carrozza.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'll be brief, but this is such an important position, and I just wanted to get something on the record and hope that you'll agree with me. Accurate voter rolls comprised of only eligible Maryland voters serve as the backbone of a secure election system. Election officials have an affirmative duty to maintain the accuracy of these voter rolls. The reason I'm bringing this up is I've been concerned, very concerned about the extremely slow removal rate when it comes to deceased. Specifically, I'm focusing on deceased voters. I actually have examples from my district where names were submitted back in October of '24, and 27 reported deceased individuals with supporting documentation of obituaries, other forms of supporting documentation, and yet 21 of those were still on the voter rolls as of December of '25. And so I know there are processes, but I would like to secure a commitment from you that we can expedite these processes in a way that we know they're accurate, that when we're going through and then we have documentation of deceased voters, that they're removed immediately. And this is something that I believe that it's a nonpartisan issue. We all share the same goal of having the clean rolls and working with our local boards of election to do that. And I also think that would strengthen integrity in our overall election system.
Yes, ma'am. I look forward to getting whatever documentation you have, looking into it with the state board, and you have my commitment to work as hard as I possibly can to be of assistance to you and every other Marylander.
I appreciate that, and I will follow up. It's not so much some individual ones that we're trying to deal with right now, but I think it's an overall system and process that we need to address.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Senator Hayes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As Delia Natar already pointed out, we've been here for a very long time, but I will be remiss not to just say thank you for your service to many of us. You've never served in an elected office, but you have served Maryland greatly as a staffer, as a mentor, as just someone that folks could go to and trust that they will get your honesty as well as your integrity. So thank you for being a friend. Thank you for someone that I know that I could always go to if I need advice on something. And I look forward to supporting your nomination. Thank you.
Thank you so
Mr.
much,
Chair.
Senator.
All right, President Pro Tem Augustine.
Thank you. I want to echo what Senator Hayes said in that you've been a mentor for me. When I first came down here, you reached out to me. You were there, listened, demonstrated real leadership and just integrity. And I feel very strongly that you will do that at this position of the Board of Elections, and I really, really look forward to supporting your nomination.
Thank you so much, Senator. Honor.
Any other questions? If not, I'll just say that both of them said that exactly the way I told them to. So.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All righty. Well, this concludes the public hearing for tonight. Okay. All right. Any questions or discussions from the committee? That if not, then we'll entertain a motion to approve tonight's nominees.
We move for a favorable recommendation on the nominees presented tonight.
Can I get a second? Second. Okay, it has been properly moved and second that we make a vote on the nominees tonight. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? If not, motion is carried. Good job.